How I Met Your Dragon.
And gonna click.
How I Met Your Dragon. Remember when you told me to watch that show?
2, 1.
How I Met Your Dragon. You may have been on drugs at the time.
Warrior? That show?
I have a sticky note here that says DW309. How I Met Your Dragon.
I think I recall getting that movie and that show confused with each other for a brief moment.
So we're in Japan. Right, because we were... Japan...
Oh!
Bears.
I remember why. Well, we're under Japan.
Oh, that's not very nice.
It's true. In fact, in Samurai Warriors 3, we added bears as a rideable mount. And one of my favorite moments in development, which never happened in the real game, was in Hattori Hanzo's first stage, you could find a bear, and then you'd be a ninja riding a bear through Japan. Now, to be fair, you could eventually earn the bear saddle, so anyone could ride a bear whenever you wanted them to. So you could still have a ninja riding a bear.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer
of
here.
Hanzo riding a bear.
But when I think of all the things that a ninja would possibly want to be riding, a bear is not high on the list. Bears aren't exactly known for their stealth.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Isn't that the same with the ninja?
To be fair, when you know that you're getting charged at by a bear, it's usually already too late.
It seems a bit redundant to me. It's like, oh, thank God there's only a bear.
Exactly.
Oh,
that's
crap,
why they work so well together.
Well, I'm dead. Good game. Click. I hate chaos. Can I tell you that? This is the pink version of Lumpus.
Yeah, not a fun spell.
That's such an unfortunate name.
As far as spells go. Oh, I'd
like to be a member of the Lumpi clan.
That's a sprite that shows up a lot.
He doesn't even have any legs. He's like Kirby. This is what Kirby looks like. Yeah. Time warp Kirby. Back in my day, I used to be able to fly with everything I did.
I'm old. I have a walking stick. And I'm shriveled as all hell.
That's what happens when you eat like the little old sweeping lady monster in the new Kirby
Now
games.
I can barely even
Turn
stand
into senior
still.
citizen Kirby.
But I'll make you crazy.
And his ability is like Mike's. It's story time, and it just puts everybody on the screen to sleep. Nintendo, you can use that. I'll sell you that ability. Speaking of Kirby, oh, I've seen this picture.
His ability is rant. If you give him long enough, he can write the Book of Leviticus. Thank goodness that you are.
No,
that
because
was a
they rarely
segue to
make
Kirby
sense.
and not a segue to Leviticus. Bible segues are never good.
We had yet begat the segue.
It's true.
Where is it?
They didn't have any segues back in the Bible.
So anyway, speaking of Kirby,
Everyone had to walk everywhere. If they had segues, they
I
wouldn't
myself
have been in
am
the
not a
desert
big
for 40
fan
years.
of game collections. I think it's
True.
kind of a crap way to get people to buy a game because they don't have one or two of the games. Like the Mega Man collection, a lot of people missed out on some of the the GameCube Mega Man collection that had like 1 through 8 on it, and then I think Mega Man and Bass. I think I would buy the Kirby collection because I don't have any Kirby games, and there are some very good Kirby games on there. See, you guys need to work that into the next patch. Well, you're just gonna have to make some.
It's a good picture.
So don't call them horses.
I don't know if we can do that. Well, no, we don't have horses in our game.
You can do that. What do they call them in Krull? So fire mares. Call them fire mares.
Doing horses.
They can travel 80 leagues in a day. That was the whole point.
We can.
He's so cute.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Wham!
But would they walk 500 miles? Oh! How I Met Your Dragon.
This is his third evolution.
That music just...
His sprite was his initial.
That is not what he looks like from the sprite. Like, on the dungeon sprite. So, I kind of touched on this in my Let's Play, but I will touch on it again here. Orochi is from the Japanese creation myths. And Susanoo, the brother of the sun goddess Amaterasu, ends up killing Orochi and getting the Kusagiri sword, which he ends up then giving to Amaterasu. And it became one of the imperial regalia of Japan until it was theoretically lost at sea. And the reason I say theoretically is because there are some people who say that it's been recovered, and others who say it was forever lost.
Well,
but if it was recovered, it was
pretty much how it goes with all priests.
No one except for the priests of that shrine are allowed
Nothing
to go. So it's like, well, it's our word against theirs.
No, he's very busy. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we found Jesus. He's in our back room, but you can't go there. Why not? Priests only.
He thinks you're all assholes. He's not coming out till you learn to behave.
But, you know, let everyone know Messiah's back. Hallelujah.
You know, you've got that whole... This is... I've been doing some...
To rap.
No, I'm almost dead. I've been doing some theological reading this year. And... We've got the Shroud of Turin thing, right? Which is supposed to be the towel they wrapped around Jesus' head when he died, so no one would know it was him.
Okay.
I guess.
That was your first mistake.
Well, we're gonna lose it. It'll be gone forever anyway.
You defeated
Orochi.
Orochi.
Sword. It's a very good sword, but I think the one I have is
based
better.
On the fact that
so I don't end up using it.
Susanoo got a sword as well.
Drop it in the lava.
Yeah.
I might.
It would be exceptionally ironic if you just threw it away while you're on your boat. Well, not on your boat, you wouldn't.
It's Japan. It works.
Well, so the reason it was lost at sea was because how did you fall down and result back? You know what? Yeah. Also, Himiko is the name
I'm gonna have to take your word for it because I know no queens of Japan.
Queen of, or at least the most famous queen of Japan.
Just gonna leave her there. Oh, back to my Jesus story. Don't want to forget. So we got this face on the thing, right? The shroud.
It's a thing.
It's got a face on it.
Oh yeah, back to your
And
Jesus story.
everybody's like, "Oh my goodness,
Don't want to forget Jesus.
It's the face of Jesus," and they cry.
Right.
But that didn't become our... It's like, this is the current artist's representation of Jesus. And that one didn't, like, come up until, like, 600 AD. Before that, Jesus looked nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it more fun for me. Being the kind of guy who's like, you know, can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't always look like that. He didn't
Right.
start looking like that till 600 years after he died. Supposedly. Well, not that he supposedly died. I'm pretty sure he looked pretty terrible when he was alive. I'm pretty sure most people at that time did.
I'm pretty
Personal
sure he
hygiene
looked
was
pretty
not a
terrible
top priority.
600 years after he died.
So we beat us up a dragon. We beat us up a Pokemon. And then this lady's just like laying here, bleeding out. Like, hold
Not
on.
a big thing.
I gotta go nap. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
So we just left her there, teleported, slept, came back, and now it's round 2. They don't have inns in Japan. They don't even have those.
Well, you know, if she stayed at an inn,
In this,
she would be
no,
much stronger.
in this
time
world,
around.
Japan is 1 temple and 3 houses.
No, they have ryokan.
One of which is just a basement that has jars filled
Is
with
there really
women.
nowhere to sleep in that?
And the other one is a house that has a dirt floor except for the well, which is on brick. Oh, that's right. The jars.
No, the well was also on the sandy floor. It was the jars. But you know what I think it is? I think it's that in Japan they sleep on tatami mats, and
I
your
did notice that
character
we didn't take our shoes off.
is far too hoity-toity to sleep on the floor, so he can only
The
sleep
music
somewhere
starts
where
whining
there's
at
a
me
bed.
again. The rumor spread
That
throughout the
is my
country like
story,
wildfire.
and
All
I
8 people in Japan now know. I don't know. What? Ah,
Wait,
there we
what
go.
was what was in the chest? Was it just
Yeah,
240?
apparently it
gold, or
was
there
inside her.
Or is it just there was a
I
treasure
wonder if
chest?
she was grumpy.
Oh, she just dropped a chest, and
I'd be grumpy
you were
too.
expected to then pick it up afterwards. Well, the sword was inside of Orochi as well. Yeah.
Why would you?
It's a pretty neat
And
little
maybe
story,
the story
actually.
answers this
In
question.
fact, I'm going to look
Why
it
would
up
you
and read an excerpt.
Decide
of
I'm gonna. I
probably
got this
Wikipedia.
sword, and I need a place to put it. And you just look around the room. Oh, I know. I'll put it inside this dragon. I'm sure it won't mind. I don't understand it. I don't understand a lot of things, though.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so I have found information and I am going to read some of it. So, the story of the Yamata no Orochi. The legends are originally recorded in 2 ancient texts about Japanese mythology and history. The 680 AD Kojiki transcribes this dragon's name as, and it shows a whole bunch of kanji, and 720 AD Nihongi writes it as a whole bunch of other kanji. In both versions of the Orochi myth, Susa
What is the
no
ancient
O
Japanese
is
word
expelled
for
from heaven
douchebag?
for tricking his sister Amaterasu, the sun goddess, because he's kind of a douchebag. That part I added. So... So, after expulsion from heaven, Susanoo encounters two earthly deities near the head of the Hi River, now called the Hi River with other kanji, in Izumo province. They are weeping because they are forced to give the Orochi one of their daughters every year for 7 years, and now must sacrifice their 8th, Kushi Inada Hime. And I think she shows up in one of the, or multiple Shin Megami Tensei games. Anyway, Susanoo transforms into a comb. What? Oh, Susanoo transforms her into a comb for safekeeping at some point. Anyways, Kojiki tells the following version. So, having been expelled, his swift, impetuous male augustness, that's what they would call gods in the thing, with these ridiculously long titles, descended to a place called Torikami, at the headwaters of the river Hi in the land of Izumo. At the time, some chopsticks came floating down the stream, so his swift, impetuous male augustness, thinking there must be people at the headwaters of the river, went up it in a quest of them, when he came upon an old man and old woman, two of them who had a young girl between them, and were weeping. Then he deigned to ask, "Who are ye?" Because they also talked in Dragon Warrior Talk. So the old man replied, saying, "I am an earthly deity, child of the deity Great Mountain Possessor. I am called by the name of Foot-Stroking Elder. My wife is called by the name of Hand-Stroking Elder. And my daughter is called by the name of Wanderous Inada Princess." Again, I guess these are just translations of each individual, kanji in their names. Again, he asked, "What is the cause of your crying?" The old man answered, saying, "I had originally 8 young girls as daughters, but the 8-forked serpent of Koshi had come every year and devoured one, and it is now time to come, wherefore we weep." Then he asked him, "What is its form like?" The old man answered, saying, "Its eyes are like Aka Hagachi," whatever that is. "It has one body with 8 heads and 8 tails. Moreover, on its body grows moss, and also various plants, like flowers or something. Its length extends over 8 valleys and 8 hills, and if one look at its belly, it is all constantly bloody and inflamed." Then his swift, impetuous male Augustus said to the old man, "If this be thy daughter, wilt thou offer her to me?" He replied, saying, "With reverence, but I know not thine august name." Then he replied, saying, wow, they use a lot of he without saying who's saying which. "I am elder brother to the heaven-shining great august deity, so I have now descended from heaven." Then the deities Foot-Stroker Elder and Hand-Stroking Elder said, "If that be so, with reverence will we offer her to thee." So his swift, impetuous male augustness, at once taking and changing the young girl into a multitudinous and close-toothed comb, which he stuck in his august hair bunch, said to the deities Foot-Stroking Elder and Hand-Stroking Elder, "Do you distill some 8-fold refined liquor? Also, make a fence round about. In that fence make 8 gates. At each gate tie together 8 platforms. On each platform put a liquor vat. And into each vat pour the 8-fold refined liquor and wait." So as they waited, after having thus prepared everything in accordance with his bidding, the 8-forked serpent came truly as the old man had said, and immediately dipped a head into each vat and drank the liquor. Thereupon it was intoxicated with drinking, and all the heads lay down and slept. Then his swift, impetuous male Augustus drew the 10-grasped saber that was augustly girdled on him, and cut the serpent in pieces, so that the river he flowed on changed into a river of blood. So when he cut the middle tail, the edge of his august sword broke. Then, thinking it strange, he thrust into and split the flesh with the point of his august sword and looked, and there was a great sword within. So he took this great sword, and thinking it a strange thing, he respectfully informed the heaven-shining great august deity, that would be Amaterasu, this is the herb-quelling great sword, which is Kusagiri. So, yeah, he found the sword in its tail, and then gave it to her as a gift, to ask for forgiveness for being a douchebag and sorry, not Kusagiri, Kusanagi. For being such a douchebag and getting, favor back with her. So so he gifted her with that sword, and then there are 2 other imperial regalia, the Yata no Kagami mirror and the Yasakani no Magatama jewel. And supposedly the Imperial line kept those 3 items together, but during one of their many, many wars of succession, the boat that was carrying the Emperor was being attacked, and they threw over all 3. They threw all 3 items overboard so that the enemies would not claim the 3 items. I hope that didn't just put you to sleep.
I have not finished.
I think it's overall pretty fascinating.
Okami yet?
Little tale, like as far as
mythology the whole thing sounds very, very
history that follows.
Similar. Okami is supposed to be a reincarnation.
Orochi supposedly shows up in there too.
Sun god, and and then you find basically the kind of a braggart swordsman kind of guy who actually ends up doing all the physical work of, slaying the dragon and all that other stuff. It's very, very similar, it sounds like. I've played a little bit of it. The problem is I got the Wii version. Mm-hmm. Like when I got my Wii, and I didn't quite have the.
I have that game. I still haven't played it yet.
System figured out quite well enough to control it. So when it came time to do a lot of the slashing and everything, it ended up being pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. I think I have the Wii version. I think I got the Wii version.
And I can agree with that. I think it's a very
I was told that
fun
just the feeling of the Wii version
game
is
to play.
nicer just because of the whole calligraphy.
There's a lot
concept.
Of motion control in it. You've got like a tackle kind of thing where you have to shake the Wiimote, and when you need to do drawing and painting, you have to use the Wiimote to do it, which is kind of neat and all. Part of the problem I had is about the same time I got the game was after I had nearly chopped off my index finger. So I couldn't really hold the trigger with my index finger because I wasn't supposed to bend it at the time. So I was kind of trying to, and you've held a Wiimote, kind of trying to hold the trigger with your middle finger and do all of this somewhat semi-intricate drawing in the air. It was kind of tough.
Cool.
And then someone said, well, you should get the PS2 version, because then you can just use the analog sticks. And oh god, I'd hate that even more.
Yeah, that sounds a bit rough.
I hate analog sticks. These are the faces from Labyrinth.
You better turn back.
And there's that guy. Oh, please. I haven't got to say it in such a long time.
Beware.
All right, but don't expect a big reaction. No, of course not. It is an amazing movie. To this day, I watch it all the time. This is the point where I'm like, oh, damn it.
That's such a good movie.
To me. will acknowledge the strength of my will and refill my health. Nope. It's like, how dare you not listen to the magic talking faces that have never appeared before right now?
Yeah, I know. You think it's just...
You know,
like,
if they were going to be spooky and atmospheric, they should
totally
have kept the
up.
dungeons and the caves similar to the first game.
Atmospheric.
And... Right. And I think they could have done that, you know, and not required you to carry a torch or have
Where
a
you
spell.
couldn't see
They could have
anything
just
except for 3 squares in each direction.
darkened out more of the room. Yes, I am. Will I survive? Will I survive?
Yeah, I think that was another one of those bottlenecking features.
Well, I
You're
have
gonna
no
get your
magic. I
ass
have no
kicked.
healing items. I have 45 health. I'm going to be doing a lot of running.
Yes, but only because
Don't
you
go
ran
this
away
way.
like
Yeah,
a total
see?
bitch.
See, this guy's lying to me. Who am I supposed to believe?
Yep.
So,
The one who's actually kind of nice about it.
I probably fought them 4 or 5 videos ago.
Didn't you fight vampire cats like 3 videos ago? Or maybe 2 videos ago?
No. Eskimo
And again,
spy.
it's only doing 1 damage, so...
I'm like stick my sword in his eye as I walk by.
Things are not looking good for Rex Dart, Super Spy.
Shut up, poke.
You better turn back.
She's a very angry Buddha.
Down.
And he looks like he's making like a fist puppet with one hand.
Now watch, you're gonna have to fight those 2
Yay.
Buddha statues.
See the hand that's like resting on his thigh? He's like making the little face mouth with it.
He looks a bit like
what you
Bishamon
doing?
10.
You're taking my stuff, huh? That's all they can do. They've been in there
Yeah.
so long. The faces don't talk to him anymore. So they had to talk to each other, and that got boring, so they invented, like, puppet pals kind of faces. I don't know. Grasping for straws here. I don't have a good story, like the dragon story. I could read a story from a book.
Yeah, just a bit.
I think there's a good one in here.
So I just sent you a
Not
picture
happy-looking
of
man either.
a Buddhist deity that I think that guy reminds me of. Named Bishamon 10.
Let's see.
No, because he's sort of a war god.
Which
He
I
is
think
one
is
of the
worse
4
than what I've
devas.
got now.
Guardian of the North. You found the armor
Swords in
of
this book
Terra
are all
Firma.
too long. Yeah, the hobo story's pretty big. Oh yeah, I need to get the thing, viewers.
Oh yeah, you were going to tell us
It's
a
a
story
thing, and I
about
need it.
the
I need to make the little thing big,
connector
so I can
parts
go
that you
into the
wanted.
big thing, and then come back out of the big thing, and go from the big thing to the little thing. I think you know what I'm trying to say.
See, that's what you wrote on Skype. I thought you were going to explain a bit more about it, because then you said, I'm going
They're
to
in
talk
my
about
hands.
it in my recording.
My lovely. Lay my lovely old hands.
I know what you're trying to say. I styled
failed me many a time. Not that a lot of people who listen to this are going to know what I'm talking about. Because you're all 12 years old. You seem like it anyway. Anyway, back to my story. I've got here my old compressor. My audio compressor that my band was using for a while, and they don't need it anymore. So I was thinking, I'm going to hook this up to my recording setup and make it just even more awesome, because it's got a bit of a noise gate in it, so we'll take out some noise. It's got an expander in it, so when things are too quiet, like if I'm more mumbling than talking, it will boost the volume, so it's all the same volume. And it's also got a limiter in it, so when I get too loud, it will reduce that volume, keeping everything much more nice, much more smooth. She's my favorite. Not like Jimmy. Jimmy's an asshole.
I'm going to interrupt for a second and just say, Tralala was so happy to see you.
He's like,
but
sure
he's so smart.
Fairly early, when I was doing a bunch of my grinding.
Stats.
I was like, look, Jimmy kept all his luck.
I don't think he's ever gone into the status screen in this game.
Anyway, this compressor also has an enhancer in it. Because once you compress your sound, it gets a little muddy. And this will fix that. But, and here's the ridiculous thing. It will only accept 1/4-inch stereo connectors and XLR connectors. Now, my mixer does not have XLR outputs, so I can't go from my mixer into the compressor unless I use TRS or stereo. TRS stands for tip ring sleeve connectors. But here's the thing. The mixer I'm using now only has one TRS output, and that's the 1/4-inch headphone out. So I've got a cable that will let me go from my mixer to the compressor. Excuse me. But I do not have one that will let me go from the compressor to my computer. Or 3.5 millimeter. I don't know. Oh, is it?
Right.
We need to do
you need a 1/4-inch to 1/8 adapter.
I have more stories, damn it.
1/8 works for me. Oh my god, the video's over again.
If I could find... Is that it?
Well, keep going. I mean, our last video went on forever.
Well, this one's called The Non-Existence of Rutabagas and Other Marginal Considerations by Jan Snow. Jan C. Snow. This is the 2nd edition, actually. And there's some interesting things in here.
Really?
Fit people.
I have some pretty neat books. So I have letters from a nut 1 and 2. I don't know if you knew there's a second one. I have Eats, Shoots, and Leaves, which is a hilarious book about grammar. And apparently,
well, obviously, you were an evil genius.
I have the Zombie Survival Guide. I have the Villain's Guide to Better Living.
Here we go.
Obviously.
I
also have All My Friends Are Dead, which is the funniest sad book and the saddest funny book ever. Have you ever seen All My Friends Are Dead?
I may have to do that.
I would suggest next time you're in a bookstore.
Here is 2 little pages.
And read it.
Yes. Anything we mention, you need to go out and purchase immediately.
Infinitely better.
It's true.
And that advice goes to all the viewers.
This little section is called Brave New Words.
Yep.
This book was written
in
in 86, I think.
On all things.
1986. It's almost as old as I am. The year 1984 came and went, and little changed. Okay. Big Brother may be watching us, but newspeak never caught on as the universal language. The little words of wisdom that guide our lives are pretty much the same as they've always been, even though our needs are different. We need some new sayings that suit our modern situations. We need up-to-date axioms that address the issues of the moment. We need brave new words, forward-looking proverbs that we can apply to all the important areas of our lives, such as financial planning. A fool and your money are soon partners. Home is where the mortgage is. Where there's a will, there's a relative. There's no accounting for the IRS. The environment. May showers kill April flowers. Still waters smell bad. Where there's smoke, there's Los Angeles. Medicine. Patients are a virtue. An ounce of prevention isn't covered by your policy. Physician, insure thyself. Dentistry. Nothing dentured, nothing stained. Economics. What goes up is never your salary. A penny saved is worthless a year later. Nothing is certain but death and tax shelters. Commuting. All roads lead to construction. Aww. The early bird gets caught in rush hour traffic. Don't cross the bridge till you've paid at the toll booth. Government. Old soldiers never die. They just double dip. Washington loveth a cheerful giver. Media. Good news is no news. Where there's life, there's Time, Newsweek, and U.S. News, and the World Report. If you can't say something nice, call the National Enquirer. Travel. Time flies when you're headed east. The longest journey begins with a single airport security check. When in Rome, look out. Entertainment. All that glitters is Las Vegas. Sports. The bigger they are, the more money they get. The green is always grassier on the other side of your slice. He who does not keep pace with his companion has his Walkman tuned to a different station. Contemporary living. Children should be seen and not rented to. The darkest hour. This is the non-existence of rutabagas and other marginal considerations. The darkest hour comes before the power is restored.
What book is this?
A barking dog always lives next door. Beauty and fashion.
This is brilliant.
A stitch in time saves face. If the shoe fits, it's not your color. Half a loaf still has more calories than none. And relationships. Mothers are an invention of necessity. A friend in need never loses your phone number. All the world's a stage that we're hoping to grow out of. It was a pretty fun read the first time. It's still fun on some. Here's a chapter called How to Be Sick and Stay Home from Work. Nuclear weapons for peace and quiet. Your generic critic reviews everyday establishments. Financial planning for the optimistic. The Step Family Game. No more janitors and other bad news. Lighten Up. This one I loved because no one spells the word light correctly anymore. So I really... Yeah, it's always L-A-T-E anymore. I do N-I-G-H-T.
L-I-G-H-T?
Because I'm a grumpy old man.
Well, to be fair, I spell night, N-I-T-E, when I'm saying goodnight to people. Oh, wow.
I don't know what I paid for it.
There
Probably 50 cents for it at the thrift store, I think. It doesn't have a price
that
on
book
it. Which
for
would...
like $6.
That's the one I'm selling. Buy that one. Buy that one.
And there's another one for $206.
Spelled the right way or the wrong way?
Actually, you want to see something kind of funny?
Nightmare
Go
chess.
onto Amazon.com and search for Nightmare Chess. With a
Nightmare Chess
the wrong way.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, look at Nightmare Chess set to OP.
Holy crap.
And then you look at the 6 new copies of it.
That is ridiculous.
So it starts at $385, and this is for like 80 cards. And look at like the
but
the
you could
most
get it
expensive
for
one.
$1,647.64 from
So
Daily
80
Deal USA.
cards cost $1,647.66 plus shipping and handling.
That is ridiculous. I was watching something.
Yeah.
It was like rare NES games. And there's... I don't even remember what the game was now. Might have even been an Atari game. Some guy was trying to sell it on eBay for $1 million. It was like a super rare version of NES Tetris. Really? $1 million? I can't bring myself to spend $20 on a Mickey's Epic Adventure, or whatever the hell it was. Epic Mickey, that's what it was. Not that I know if it's $20 or not, I just, that was the first game that popped into my head. For some reason, it was that one. Let's see. It's not very big. You could read the whole thing in an hour if you really wanted to. There are
How big is that book, by the way,
131 pages.
The big one?
Each story basically consisting of 2 to 2.5 pages at the most. Fairly large font, like 14. The one I've got anyway. It's the second edition 1996 printing? 94. No part of this book may be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic or mechanical, including photocopying, recording, or by any information storage and retrieval system without written permission from the author, except for the inclusion of brief quotations in a review. I just broke the law. Well, it's in the Library of Congress now. I'm sure it's fine. It's got a number for the Library of Congress. Catalog number, so it must be printed in the United States of America. I don't think it does.
Is it?
It might. I don't know. The contents are probably public domain, but I don't think
public domain.
Like you can put public domain songs on an album, and you still have to buy the album, kind of a thing. I think it works like that. I don't know. Do. Now I got the Tetris song stuck in my head. Oh, we have to talk about the picture. I'm going to use a picture. Not the pink hat guy.
And on that note,
I'm going to use... I know, but the picture we're using, this is from... Okay. This is probably the most useful thing you will ever see in an instruction manual. This is from the Final Fantasy I instruction manual. I am sending it to Ragnats right now so he can see what we're talking about. I don't know about you, viewers, but there are times you just can't be sure. And this is going to take forever to send. Because they're all on my computer.
Why can't you ever send me links to pictures? This is one of the biggest stumbling
blocks I've ever faced.
You always send me the actual JPEG, so I have to download it.
While playing my RPGs.
You're a difficult person.
Well, you try and open the treasure chest by putting your hand next to it instead of your face.
You're not facing things?
Mm-hmm. You can.
Like, I could foresee requiring to explain to the player that you can only do it from the front and not from the sides. Even though I think you could do it from the sides.
Well, in some games you couldn't open them from the sides or the back, like Zelda. I think you had to be right in front of them.
The fact that the fact that you used to explain that you have to face the
pretty much every other game in existence
saddens me a little.
You can be 8 feet away from it, and it will probably still open.
Yeah, there are some games.
Well, I don't like that. Anyway, viewers, bye.
Mm-hmm. Bye.